The first thing I want to talk about, the first point on the agenda is Snowcar is getting updated. I honestly thought we were not going to see the day, but the Snowcar is getting fixed. And it all started about 1 week ago. There was a YouTube video posted by a community member. Grefmaster made this video right here. The Snowcar hitbox is terrible, so I fixed it. So basically, yeah, we don't need to watch the entire thing, but what he's saying here is that the Snowcar hitbox has the exact same collision shape as the original Snowcar from 2003. It is exactly the same one. What's the problem with that? Well, in the early days of computing, ellipsoid and circular shapes were a lot easier to make than very exact shapes. So the Snowcar, though it is a pickup truck, has an insane hitbox. It is quite insane. He's gonna show it here. The orange circles that you see is the car's hitbox. Pay attention to this one. Everything that you see here is the hitbox. These orange lines. Meaning, if you collide with anything under the car here with this orange, you crash. If it hits up here, you crash. These are just big blobs. Massive blobs in the hitbox. Does this matter? Does this have any negative impact on gameplay? Yes, it does. This is exactly what causes Snowcar landing bugs. And the original car had all this. And, you know, okay, 2003, if you're able to make such a good racing game back then, all good. No one's going to blame you, right? 20 years later, though, it's a little wild to have these hitboxes. So people, after seeing this, were asking for some changes. So basically what he did is he changed the hitbox himself, imported it as a model. I don't know how he did this. And then he took it for some gameplay in Trackmania original. Now, we're just going to skip to this last map. Basically, the car bugs way less. There is no collision underneath the car. So there are some jumps here near the end of the map. Right here. Where this type of landing would almost always bug. But here you just keep speed. It's very smooth. It's very satisfying. This one as well, basically guaranteed to almost bug. This one is a disaster. Nose down landing. And it's so smooth. It feels so wrong if you play the Snowcar that this landing survives. But it does, and it looks very satisfying. Now the thing is that already when the Snowcar came out, we got a pretty clear message from Nadeo that the Snowcar is kind of hard to fix because it would mess with original gameplay, and they didn't really wanna do anything about it. So this was the message that we got when the Snowcar came out. We're aware that the Snowcar hitbox is not perfect because it's a 2003 hitbox, but we cannot easily update it without breaking original gameplay and feeling. However, you know, people then after this video experimented what would change in the gameplay if you actually imported it with a smaller hitbox. This is an example video. So on the left here, you can see the current hitbox, and on the right, you can see what it would look like. Since there's no blob under the car, you can now drive on sausage blocks without feeling like there's an ongoing earthquake at about 7.1 on the Richter scale. You can also drive outside dirt now without the blob under the car suddenly making you hop on the left side there. You can also drive loops and land cleanly without any issues. That saves about 1 second and looks a lot smoother. You can also get a huge nose down landing here, and just pay attention to the difference. 302 speed on the right side when he landed, 200 on the left side. It is a staggering difference. And I think it's going to make the game feel a lot more smooth, a lot more... And you know what I think, actually, you know what I think the thing is? I don't think this was that hard to fix because we just got a message today from Nadeo that they are going to improve the hitbox. This might break records and press forward maps. I am fine with it. I applaud Nadeo for doing this. But I had to think for a second and like, why did they not do this to begin with? I had a realization. I'm not sure if this is correct. So pure speculation, but the Snowcar is Hylis's first ever Trackmania car. The Snowcar is the car that started the Trackmania franchise. I think they didn't want to change anything because it's like changing Pikachu. It's like changing the original Pikachu. The first, like, proper Pokemon, you know? Like, you have a sentimental attachment to this car. The way it was designed, the way it played. You don't want to, like, modernize it. You want it to be its original form. The problem with that is like, if it's broken competitively, and people want to play your game as competitive as possible, then you kind of have to update it. You can't really have the landing bugs. They're not a feature. The car can still have its 2003 regular gameplay without landing bugs, you know? I got the world record on 08. the other day. I hope did you guys see the video that we made? If not, if you haven't seen it, do recommend checking it out. It's a pretty fun video. I think the record on, for example, 08 now can be very improved. Because there are so many runs that you lose to landing bugging in this jump. And also in this jump. That now you're going to get past the start basically every time. And you might be able to get away with like insane landings here. So there's actually newfound hope on 08 now to hunt it. Which is very interesting. Even here in my world record run at the time, my car kind of landed bugged a bit. 5 more minutes? Yeah, I will play 5 more minutes when we get the chance. Did they patch the snow car? No, they will. They will patch it. And there is actually a Reddit thread we can check to see what people's reactions are. I think a lot of people are like frustrated with Nadeo for not doing it yet, but I think it's so important to, in these kinds of things, to not be like, is it gloating? There's some word for this in English. To not like, damn, why didn't they just listen to us from the... This is... I don't like that. We applaud Nadeo, they made a positive change. Being, like, mean about it is not gonna help them do more things like this. If they feel like they're doing it to an unthankful, ungrateful audience. I'm glad Nadeo can consistently take action when they see the community's response to things, but sometimes I wish they'd have the foresight. Feels like something that could have been improved at the design stage and not post-release. Oh well. Doesn't really matter. This is that post-release clarity you sometimes get when you publish something and then after releasing you realize that, oh, I should do something differently. Next update planned February 27th, so it might be a month, but we'll see. Nadeo, it's not hard to listen to the community more. The game would be terrible if they always listened to the community, but in this case, I agree. Annoying things about the snow car that are fundamentally part of its design, I can see why there are arguments about them. There shouldn't have been a question about the hitbox. True. This is a very cool post, because this is from Cybermix, who just, for the record, is a really good United player. So he's played the snow car for many years. Jonas sent me this, which is Cybermix playing on his own setup, and it's a full like rally car. He's driving with like, look at his setup. Force feedback steering wheel. This is how he plays Trackmania. So Cybermix is a dedicated United player, really good. And I was really curious to see the feedback from some of the old school players like Renati and Cybermix here, but reading Cybermix's comment, I think he said that he liked it. Do you know how they handle the rest of the changes historically? What will they do for times driven with the old hitbox or reset? Usually, if they update physics, the old records just stay. Nothing gets deleted. And that's something we have to accept. But yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm excited for the future. Thank you, Nadeo, for fixing the car. I look forward to it. I look forward to playing. I'll wait for a couple more minutes. Pape, thank you for the 13 months as well. Guys, while we're here, just before we start hunting, should we also check the Reddit? My Reddit, that is. Because I haven't been there in a while.